and I deliver. Yeah, plenty of you guys asked me how to edit like Sanches Sanches bullshit. I will show you and break down that edit. I tried my best to recreate it, so yeah. Before we start with the edit itself, a lot of people ask me how I get the preview at the top, and it's really easy. What I just did was putting the original edit into the timeline and then just like, you know, resized it and put it up in the corner like that. That's it, guys. It's nothing special. So what I first did was arranging the clips so they fit. Yeah, so to start it off, we have the preview here. Here we don't need to do anything, and the actual edit starts here. What we directly see is we have a zoom out and then a zoom into Rukia's face and twitch and S underline shake or something like a position shake, so the clip isn't like stiff, you know. So the first thing I will do is adding a twitch on it. So I make a right click, new, and add an adjustment layer, put it down here. By the way, a lot of things are repetitive, so means a lot of effects repeat themselves, so I will show them once to save time, and then the next I will do a timeline. So for here I will have an adjustment layer. What I do now is I cut it here with Control Shift and D or Command Shift and D, and here as well, so that they overlap to the preview with the first clip. So I don't have a specific number, I just did it randomly. Now it's 1, 2, 3 frames and 1, 2, 3 frames. So in total 6 frames, 3 at the first clip and 3 at the second clip. So now we look oh my god, I was choking on my own saliva. We gotta add the twitch now. I have an extra plugin that is, by the way, for free to search for effects and presets. You can look it up here in the right corner, but I use that one. So we have amount, speed, and enable. First we go to enable and enable slide and blur. Where is it? So, because there was a slide and blur here, we can see that here. And we press on stopwatch on amount, and at the start we're gonna have it on 0, obviously, because we wanted to start in the middle here. Like here, and then here I'm gonna set it to maybe 40, and then back to 0 at the end, like this, so that we have 3 keyframes in total. Oops, let me mute that. So we have 3 graphs in total now. So then here we set the speed up as well. I set it to 20, I guess. So we have something like that, an impact shake. Then I highlight the keyframes and press F9 or make a right click, keyframe assistant, and easy ease. Then we make a middle graph out of it. By that we go to the graph editor, right click and edit value graph. We just set the graph to the middle. Up like this. And then like this down, that we have something like that. Of course, don't forget it, I always do that directly at the start. Highlight all of your clips, activate motion blur. I press toggle switch modes if you don't see this kind of mode, and then we activate our motion blur. So now we have our twitch, and we still have it on a lot of the other clips, so we can just copy the settings later, but maybe I do it kind of longer, so maybe like this. After doing our twitch transition or twitch thingy, we're gonna make our actual transition. For that, we're gonna create a null object. You make a right click, new, and create a null object. Cut them accordingly to the duration of your clip like this. I will use an extra tool for that, so I save that time of cutting it and stuff like that. So yeah, but after creating your null object and making it fit to the duration of your clip, make sure connect that first clip with the null object we created, activate motion blur, and then first it starts with a zoom out. So I press S and Shift and P to automatically scale in the position, make a right click on position and separate the dimensions. I always do that, you don't have to do it, but it's better because in a later game for grabbing it, it's better if you use the edit value graph. So I press on the stopwatch on all of them, put them at the end, or near the end. Not totally to the end, but near the end. And at the start, I zoom it in and change the position somehow. How is she in the right? Like this. And then we have something like that. Okay, we need to zoom it out more. Wait, then I press right click and reset position on all of them. On the scale as well. No, not scale. Here, and then go out like this, and then like that. Perfect. And then we scale it, position. Now highlight all of your keyframes, press F9. If not, right click, not that, keyframe assistant, and then easy ease. Then go to the graph editor. Let's start with the X position. We're gonna set all of those graphs to the left. They will all look the same, so yeah, just copy my graph. Our first transition, we are not over. We need to make the second one, so add another null object and connect the first null object where we just did the motion with the new one. Activate motion blur, and now let's go here maybe and press S, Shift and P again, and right click to separate the dimensions of the positions. Press on the stopwatch on all three of them, and then go near to the end of the clip again, and we do a face zoom in so that we almost have a seamless transition to Rukia's face later, like that, and then like this and that and this. Then put it totally to the end where the clip ends. Highlight your keyframes, press F9, and now we go to the graph editor again. Let's start with the X position, and this time on the added value graph we put them all to the right, but it's gonna be the same graph again. So now we have our transition, but it still looks stiff. But of course it is because we still need to add our shake in it. For this, what we do basically is we search for S_shake. You need the Sapphire plugin for that. I'm sorry. So I messed up a little bit with the settings. So I blend in now the settings I changed after I finished recording the video. Just copy those settings because the original shake I made is not that tilty and cool like the one I figured out after the video after experimenting a lot with the settings. Yeah, just copy them and don't be surprised that after the cut now other settings will appear. It's just the old ones, but the principle is the same with the graph. What I will do now in a second is really just the numbers here that you need to change. Press U to see the keyframe. We go to the end of a clip and press here on that square to add another keyframe with the same value. Now highlight your keyframes, press F9, go to the graph editor. It might look weird, you will be like, what the hell is that? Don't worry, you just press on it and create something like that. That it looks like this. Here like that. It's like a hole, I would say. A pothole. What is a pothole? I don't know either, but like, yeah, like this. We have that circle thingy. From there, we gotta cut the clip here with Ctrl-Shift-D or Command-Shift-D because that's be a separate part. So here what I do now is I go to the shake here and highlight those shakes, press Ctrl and C or Command and C, and just paste it in here with Ctrl and V or Command and V so that we have the shake here. To change the duration, I hold Alt and then change and fit the keyframe to the duration of the clip. Now, why did you look weird? Oh, because of the frequency. So basically here, I don't need to explain that. We have a zoom in and then a zoom out. So I will not explain that because it's a basic transition, but you can watch me doing that. And then, yeah, I will just do a little time lapse. we get into a more complicated part of that video, and that's that 3D tunnel thingy. And I don't have it 100% figured out yet myself, because I don't really do 3D effects, so bear with me. So first we got our clip here. What we do is to make a right click and pre-compose it. I'm gonna call that tunnel now. And move all attributes into the new composition. Yada yada yada, press OK. And now we go inside that clip and we have that part. Now again, make a right click and pre-compose it, and we call that circle. Press OK. We moved all attributes in the new composition again. I changed the color to cyan now, or made another color that is maybe really obvious, maybe to fuchsia, so that we know that's our Rukia clip. From the preview I saw was we need to make a circle and a perfect ellipse. For that we go to the rectangle tool, hold it with the left mouse and select the ellipse tool. Now hold shift. While holding shift we create a perfect circle like this. Now we have our circle like that. Okay, alright. For the next thing we gotta do is to make a right click, new, and create a camera. We can leave the settings like that, press OK, and then press OK. We have a camera now. Now activate the 3D cube and activate motion blur. So what we're gonna do now is listen. I'm gonna explain it once. It's not difficult, so I will not show the whole process. Don't be scared. It's not difficult what I show you now. We need to create circle layers. I don't know how many circles it was, but enough circles. Those glowy circles. So for that, we create a shape layer. So make sure to not have any clips selected. Have the shape layer selected, the ellipse tool, and then hold shift. While holding shift, just create a circle like that again. Doesn't have to be perfect, and press on the word fill, set it to none, and the stroke. We just need the stroke and set the stroke higher, and now I have it around 22, like this. I press P, and then I have a, you see that circle I showed to you, and then press S to size it up like that, and then activate the 3D cube and press here to activate the motion blur. So now we have that circle, and we need to align it like this in a big like tunnel, and it's not difficult. What you just do is to know and to make the right distance between all those circles as we go from active camera to the top. Here you see we have the camera and everything that is inside the field. So if the circle is here, it means it is the closest to the camera. If the circle is here, it is far away from the camera. That's the field of view, called like that. So to know how much distance there is, I select the shape layer, and you see it is in the same layer than our clip is. They are, you can distinguish them by the color. So you see blue line means it's our circle layer, and that purple or rosa line is our clip. So I put the circle forward now, and now what we just do is to literally copy our circle with Control and D or Command and D. Press P, and then just, you know, put them forward. You can choose the distance by yourself, what looks the best. And then Control and D, Command and D, or Command and D, yeah. And then put it forward until we reach our camera back here. So it's up to you now. To save time, you can select all of your circles, press Control and D, and then P. And then manually changing the position. I'm gonna do that now until I reach the camera, and then we will see each other in a second. After finishing it, we can go out, change the top view to active camera. And I know it looks weird now, but don't forget, we need to zoom in with the camera later anyways, so it might look weird. Now we gotta add to all of our shape layers texture flux and deep glow, because we see some have texture flux, or at least deep glow. I think those are the ones with the texture flux, but I'm not sure. Let's add the deep glow on all of them. Go like this, deep glow. And then I copy that with Control C or Command and C and paste it in with Control and V or Command and V. I know it looks weird. Now make a right click, create a new null object. I put it above the camera, activate motion blur and the 3D cube. And now connect the camera with the null object. Now we're gonna do our motion first before we add the background and everything. And maybe to tweak our circles in a second. We go and press P to up the position. And we need to play with the third value here for the C position. So what we do is we go press and stopwatch on the position. Wait, I need the I need the preview now. And then first we go in like this. Here like that. And then go out. Like this. And I put that to the end. And we're gonna grab it in a second. Oh my gosh, I thought my thing is like this. No! Oh yeah, we don't see the keyframe, so yeah. Make another null object. Put it above that one. Activate motion blur and that cube and connect the first null object we have with the second one. So here we're gonna do a zoom out again, but right here, overlapping here, press P to the position. Press and stopwatch on position and the first value is 0. And then we go to the end of our clip, put that a bit down, and then we set it to a negative. Maybe like okay, actually like this maybe. So we definitely gotta change the circle. We highlight all of our keyframes, we go to the position, press shift and then left click on the position on the other null object too to highlight on the both layers of them, press F9. And now let's start with this one. Then we have it on 0 here, sorry, 0. And I would say let's start with the first one, like the bottom one that we first created. Go to graph editor, right click, edit speed graph, and set the graph to the left. We just make a right click, separate the dimensions, and it's gonna be the, well, it doesn't work, then we gotta use the speed graph, I'm sorry. Right click and edit speed graph, and I'll put the graph to the left. Like this. And now we have something like that. Yeah, like this. That is good, but you see we gotta definitely fix the circles. So I go to the end and go to active camera again, top, and change the circle here from the distance like that, so it has a better thingy. So yeah. Step is making the opacity. It's not difficult. Press T on your clip, press on the stopwatch on opacity. The first one is gonna be 100 and last one's gonna be 0, like this, at the end of your clip, like that. So now we got that, and now we gotta move on to our background for that. So for this, we make a right click, new, and create a solid layer. I call that burst. I put that under everything, and now we're gonna search for CC particle word. CC particle word like this. Then we have something like that, your birth rate, and gonna set this low to 0.5, gotta be enough. Gotta set that to 0.5 as well, the longevity, I guess, or 0.57 is okay as well. Then we go to, where is it? To physics, gravity to 0, because it shouldn't be like going either up or down like that, but we want it to have no gravity, like a starburst thingy you see. Then we are finished with that. Then we go to the particles, set the birth color to 0, to white, and the depth color to 0 as well, because we want them to be white. Go to, where's that? Producer, and set the radius up, because it needs to be fill the composition like that. So I have it around this now. It depends on how big your composition is. And then I set the radius wide to 1000 as well. 1000, and here we're gonna set it to around 4000 should be enough. Like that, you see? It looks really good. So that's it. I have that around 4000. So we have that part now. Be that clip with Control D or Command and D. And we're gonna search for invert. So wait. And deep glow. So after doing that as invert, the next step is we copy that leak one again, but we delete the CC particle world, and it's gonna be the bottom one, and then we search for texture flux. Gonna see in a second. And here we change and press and stopwatch on color 0. And go forward. I don't know which color was that. Blue. A bluish color was that. So we go from a bluish color to a white one. And then... oh wait, maybe a different bluish color. Maybe a darker one. And then to a white color at the end. And now we create a mask. Make a circle mask. Ellipse tool by pressing Q and then press Shift. While holding Shift, we create a circle. Oh, make sure to have that solid layer selected like this. And then change the position of it. May look weird, I know. That mask, we need to change the feather, so press F to open up the feather. I have it on 38 now, but I set it higher. Maybe 239, then check the inverted box, because it should look like that. And now you'll be like, it doesn't look that good. Because you see we have those kind of wave looking like cracks, I don't know how to explain that. And to remove that, we just go to the frequency and set it down like 0.1. And you see it disappears. I think white was a bad choice of color because it's not white at the end. It's blue, white, blue. Wait, I think I need to carry the preview with me for a second. We have a bluish color now, and then here it gets to white. So put that back. Here it gets to a white color. then it gets to blue again. So I copy that with Control-C, Command-C, put blue in again. And then it gets white again. So I copy the white keyframe, paste it in with Control and V. And then it gets blue again. So copy that with Control and C or Command and V. Paste it in again with Control and V or Command and V. And it stays at blue, yes. It's just, I guess, a darker shade of blue. Oh, it's because of the whites. Wait, what if we change the color to black? Yes, we gotta change the color one to black maybe. I have this now. It does not look perfect, certainly not. But I tried my best, guys. And then I sized it up a bit so we see both of them. I press S and scaled it up to 14080. Moving on, we will move on this 3D text now, and I don't have a clue what font it is, to be honest. I already did like a tutorial on how to do that 3D text on my How to Edit Like Gojo, because they're really similar, except the font is different. But I will still show you how to do that, because I'm a nice editor and teacher, so yeah. First we have our raw clip here, so I didn't do anything to it. What I will make is now a right click and pre-composing it. I will call it Rukia 3D, and then move all attributes into the new composition and check this and press OK. I pre-composed it because we will add movement and stuff to it later, and yeah, because there's a terp and optics compensation and I don't want to have many layers here, so I want to make one layer. We go inside the clip and we have a Rukia clip here. What I will first do now is adding a turbulence display. So I make right click, new, and create an adjustment layer. And then we add like a turbulent display. That's my favorite effect. And then we gonna press on the stopwatch on amount, set it to 20. I never have it high up like that, and I think this one is not strong as well. If I'm not, yeah, this terp is not strong anyway, so I think around 20 is good. Then we go to the end of the clip and set it to 0. Wait, like this. Oops. Like that. Then we go and press on the stopwatch on size. We set it to 300, but I will set that to the end, aligning that with the amount keyframes, and at the start I'm gonna set it to 50. Like this. So we have our terp now. Let's add our 3D text after finishing our turbulent displays. For that, we just go and create our text with the horizontal type tool or Control-T or Command-T. And create your name. Why is my name so long? Wikis draft. I use the Airstrike font here, because it looks to me the most like the font Sanches uses, but I don't have a clue which font it is, so if you know what font it is, write it in the comments. I'm always open to that. And then we have our text, and I put it in the middle by the align tool, like this. So next step is we make a right click on the timeline new and create a solid layer. I call it 3D text now. And then we have something like that. Now you need the element plugin for that. It's a plugin, yeah, it's not by After Effects, and add it to your solid layer here that we just created. Now we go to custom layers, custom text and mask, and go to path layer 1, none, and change it to the text we just created. Now we go to scene setup. Okay, we have something like that. It's really easy. You just press on extrude and your text appears. Next step is going to presets, and we need the 2 folders called bevels and environment. We start off with the bevels. You go and open up the bevels folder, go to physical and change the one to your liking. I will have it on Pro Black now, just double click it, and then we go to environment. And if you ask what the environment is, I show you that now. If you don't add an environment and just press on OK, it looks really ugly because there's no glow, no reflection or whatever, you know what I mean. So we go back to scene setup and go to our environment. You can choose between all of them. It's totally up to you what looks the best to you. I will go with what looks good. I go with basic 2K 0.2 and press OK. Now I know it still doesn't look good, but to fix that we go to effects and presets and search for deep glow, put it under the element 3D, and you see, voila, looks good. And now we search for shine. It's a plugin as well, I'm sorry, and add it under the deep glow. So for that, to change the color, we just open up the colorize, change it from 3 color gradient to whatever you like. I choose one color and then change the color to white. And then we can change the settings here. I have it on the ray length to 0.6 now. And the boost light to 0.2. And then can change it and play around with the settings. And now we go and add the ray length for that shiny thingy at the end. We move on to the motion now, so open up the element 3D again, open group 1 and then particle look, and then we have something called multi-object. Open that up and enable that, and you get a lot of those stuffs. So I don't have anything in particular yet for the motion, so it's up to you to play with those settings. So we have the X and Y rotation. Oh, to fix that text underneath it, just make the text invisible. We don't need it anymore. So first step I do is making the text itself bigger. So here's the size. Oh, not that. No, not that. Where is it? Particle size. Yeah, here. With that we changed the size of our text, and now we can play around with all those settings here. They already show who's writing me the settings here. I think what you will play with is the rotation. I don't know what is after that, rotation raw. That is what Sanches uses. Then we have displays, that's used too. And here. So play around with the settings. I will animate it now to my heart's content what looks good. This is how it looks like now, and it looks amazing. So, and now we add a shine on it that we both have on a Gojo text and what Sanches uses too. It's called ray light. How's it called? Where is it? Light ray, I'm sorry, light ray. CC light rays, and put that under your text, on your solid layer. My apologies. And now we don't see anything yet, but just press on the center on this one and put it here, and you see the shine thingy. We press on the stopwatch on center, press U to see the keyframes, and I just align it with the motion keyframes, and then go to center and put it on the right bottom corner, and then we have something like that. If you want a different color, you can uncheck the allow bright, uncheck color from source, and then change the color, I think, to the color of your liking. So like this, but it's up to you, and you can change the radius and softness. So it's totally up to you. Then I put it at the end, highlight the keyframes and press F9. And it looks like this. If not, I put it up like that, so it looks like this. And I just start like this. Yeah. And then we can grab it like the one before, right click and edit speed graph and put the graph to the left. Like this. And now we are finished with our text. Now we can get out of the composition and we have this one here. Okay, I saw the animation from Sanches is different. It's going from in to outwards, so I will now add an optic compensation to that, because I see we have an optics compensation and then shake again, but I don't need to elaborate on that, and a simple zoom out and zoom in. From here I will skip 2 as well, because it's just a warp out. A warp out. But don't worry, I will do a time lapse if you want to follow me, and you can just slow down the video, and we will continue from the eye zoom out transition. Next transition is the eye transition, and it's really not difficult. It looks like that, but it's a really cool transition for you to learn. So for that we need 2 clips and they need to overlap. I will pre-compose that clip because we see we have a zoom out on the clip as well, so we can edit it later. So highlight both clips, make a right click, pre-compose that, and we call that eye zoom out transition. Move our attribute to the new composition and adjust composition blah blah blah. Check that, press OK. And we go inside the comp now. We will now, oh no, that's right, with the beat here. So let me set another one, because here is where the transition starts and this is where the next clip appears. So what we will do now is we go to the first frame of our second clip, copy the clip with Ctrl D or Command and D, and then go 1 frame forward and cut it with Ctrl Shift and D or Command Shift and D. Now make a right click on it, go on time and go on freeze frame. Now put it back where the eye transition starts here, and stretch it out till the next clip starts. It's really easy, guys. So what we first do is, first I cut the first clip here with Ctrl Shift and D or Command Shift and D, because this part won't be needed. And we start off with the freeze frame. First, we gotta cut out the eye. It's really easy. Just press G to open up the pen tool, or press here on the pen. Oh god. And then mask out the eye. It's not difficult like this. Just press M to open up the mask. Select inverted to make it look like that, and if it's too rough for you, just press F to open up the mask feather and set it higher like this. I have it around 6 now. That's perfectly enough. So the next thing we do is to create a new null object like that with the same length as our freeze frame. Connect the freeze frame with the null object layer, activate motion blur, and now we press S and Shift and P to open the scale without closing the to open up the position without closing the scale. Yeah, make a right click on a position and separate the dimensions. And now press on the stopwatch on all of them. Alright, and put the values we just created to the end of the freeze frame. At the start, we're gonna scale in now till we don't see our Rukia anymore, zoomed in into our eye though, like this. We don't need to graph them. And now what we do is to work on the first clip. So what we do is to press S to open up the scale, press on the stopwatch on scale, and we do a simple zoom out, but for that you need to add motion tile on it, of course. So let's add the motion tile, mirror edges, set this higher and higher. I think I don't have to explain that one, and we do a normal scale out. Here matching and align them with the freeze frame. I set it to 60 now. And then put it back. Highlight it F9 and make a graph to the right on the added value graph. Like this. And now we move on to our second clip. So for the second clip here, after the freeze frame, what we do is create another null object. Connect the the clip here, now the second clip, with the null object that we just created, activate motion blur. And now when you select the null object, you see that anchor point. We change the anchor point to the eye by pressing pan behind anchor point tool or Y and change it to the eye. For example, if you would have done the other eye, you just mask out the other eye and change the anchor point to the right eye. So the anchor point always needs to be there where the mask is. So we have something like that. And now simply press S to up the scale, press on the stopwatch on scale, and put it to the end or where the scale out ends, and just zoom in and you see, perfect. We don't have to do anything. Highlight your keyframes, press F9, go to the graph editor, right click edit value graph and change the graph to the left. And now we have something like this. Okay, I don't know why it's bouncy at the end, so like this. Oh, because we want it on 100. And it looks like this now. Amazing. And we would be finished. I saw though that Sanches had added a twitch here, I think so. So I'm gonna do that now. And for the rest of the transitions, it's nothing in particular. It's just repetition. So here we have a zoom out, zoom in, and this is with the stars. It's the same as with the circles, just another, how to say that, form. And we have a big S circle in the background, so it's nothing new. Zoom in and normal transitions, and we will see each other when I will recreate this transition here. Okay, I must admit for this transition I was a bit too lazy to make an explanation, but since I really love you guys, I will do a short explanation for you, but the rest is just to follow me because it's not really difficult. So basically what I did was just to have my main clip and copy the clip, and on the bottom of the clip I would add a motion tile and would not check the usual mirror edges box, and I would only change the output width. Or was it height? I don't remember. You will see that in the video anyways. And then on the top of the clip, I added a drop shadow to have that kind of effect that we saw in Sanches' video, that it feels like it has some depth in it. And then basically I did the same on the second clip with Rukia. And then I overlapped those clips and aligned it like this, that the Rukia clip is under this clip, whatever it is. I don't have a clue what that clip it is, but it looks disturbing to me. And then I just basically used a null object and made a normal slide. So it's not a difficult transition. And then I added an opacity, obviously. And yeah, that's basically it for that transition. And at the end, I added like a time remap to match Rukia's breathing to the timing of the beat, clip, edit, whatever. And then I added like an offset transition, really easy, by just adding one solid layer in the color black, and then basically directional blur and offset. It's not difficult, and it's like a 1-framer or 2-framer. I don't remember if it was a 1-framer. You will see it in the video anyways. I don't have the video in front of me, that's why.